All right, I'll call this meeting to order, October the 14th, special call meeting, Water and Sewer Commission. Jennifer, you want to call the roll?
Absolutely. Mayor Hobbs,
Here.
Chairman Anderson,
Here.
Vice Chairman Watson,
Here.
Secretary Hunt,
Here.
Commissioner Hillsman,
Here.
let's see, Alderman Crossland,
Here.
Assistant Director Polly,
Here.
and Billing Office Manager Jennifer Hall.
All right, we have a quorum. First item on the agenda is the election of officers. Currently, Gary Hunt is secretary. The floor is open for nominations for secretary.
I'll nominate Gary.
Nominate Gary Hunt.
I'll second it.
Got a nomination and a second. Any other than nominations? All in favor of Gary Hunt being secretary, say aye. Aye. Passed. All right. The vice chairman is currently Nelson Watson. Chair is open to nominations for vice chairman.
I'll nominate Mr. Watson.
Nelson Watson nominated. Is there a second? I second that. Any other nominations? If not, all in favor of Nelson being vice chairman, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Motion carries. And chairman, let me say this, I'll be happy to serve as your chairman again for a year. I'd be happy if somebody else wants to serve for a year. Either way, I'm gonna be happy, okay? The chair is open for nominations for chairman.
I'll move Michael Anderson.
All right.
Chairman.
I'll second.
Got a nomination and a second. Any other nominations? If not, all in favor of Anderson, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. All right, so we have a new slate of officers, same ones we've had, that's fine. Next item on the agenda is approval.
You know, that should have been first, shouldn't it?
I didn't create this, I'm just following. Yeah, it probably should have,
But I'll second it.
but I don't see any major problems with
No.
proceeding. So let's approve the rest of the agenda. Chair will entertain a motion to approve the agenda as written.
I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda as written.
Have a motion?
I'll second.
Is there a second? Okay. All in favor of the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Next item is citizens' comments. Anybody wish to speak? Sarah?
Just real briefly, I see organizational chart and job descriptions. Whenever y'all get to that, if you could clarify whether we're gonna follow the municipal code as far as hiring goes, or the newly adopted handbook. I don't know if y'all got a copy of that, but the city did just adopt that, and they're different. So if we could just clarify so folks know what to expect, if we're gonna be following the handbook or the adopted municipal code, since they don't match.
Well, I know
And the date and time change. If you could, please avoid the second Tuesday at 6 o'clock, that's county commission normally. I don't know if this was, you're not meeting, anyway, if we could avoid that major county meeting, that'd be great.
Something to consider. I know our last page on our packet has open dates, open times, and I do understand that. As far as the organization chart, I think Lonnie put together just an organizational chart of who's there and what positions are not filled currently. And so I had asked for that. Job descriptions are in here. Each one is listed. I don't know that they're different from the handbook. I'm not familiar with the handbook. Maybe Mayor can speak to that when we get to it. But any other public comments? Okay. Next item is approval of the minutes from last meeting.
Which, if you read that ordinance, the minutes are supposed to be read aloud unless we have unanimous consent to not read them.
I wasn't aware of that.
I wasn't either, but it's in that ordinance. that
The
Mayor
current
sent us.
ordinances?
The one the mayor sent us.
Okay.
So-
Do you know
so
that
if
one?
we- So if we don't wanna,
I don't think we need to read them.
I don't either.
Well, if somebody disputes them, yeah, I mean, if
Well,
whoever disputes them.
yeah, all I'm saying is somebody needs to make a motion that we.
Dispense with
To
reading.
dispense with reading.
I'll
Okay.
make a motion, we dispense with reading.
And if somebody objects, then we're
I'll
gonna,
second it.
All right, got a motion and a second. All in favor of dispensing with reading of the minutes, say aye. Aye. Aye.
now you can,
Now we can.
Now you can vote on
Now we
it.
can vote on whether to approve it or not.
Right.
It's long minutes, but I read every word and I'm okay. Everybody else? Chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of September the 4th.
Make a motion.
And I'll second.
All right, got a motion and a second. Approve the minutes. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carried. Lonnie, your report.
Just real briefly to go over kind of what we did for the month of September. Between Duke's and our in-house staff, we televised 34,964 linear feet of sewer lines. At the headworks of the plant, we installed and wired 2 new Allen Brady U1000 plus HMI control screens on the control panel that helps the screw compactors work. Well, they were down for a while. We unclogged and purchased several new lift pumps to replace burn-up pumps that were at Pinyard Bridge Lift Station, Fredonia, Kennedy Street, Waterford Farm, and 7-Eleven. We have some loaner pumps in now that make them operational, but we're waiting, the lead time on some are up to a month. Where we're waiting, where we did purchase 2, so if there's a two pump lift station, it'll have 2 pumps in it now, and they'll be operational. Working with Wascon and St. John Engineering to install a new booster pump skid pad at the old water plant booster station. Due to safety challenges, I don't know if y'all are familiar, the pump went out, about a week and a half ago.
It's at the old water treatment plant, yeah.
Yes, sir. Leaving us with no pump at all to provide water and adequate pressure throughout the system. With the help of Dana Douglas, we were able to get in contact with Xylem and get a rental here within 24 hours and had them hooked back up and back in water, back in pressure. We did do a temporary repair to the old pump, just to have some redundancy. And it is put it back inside that building, but the plan is still to come out of the building. It is very unsafe, electrical is outdated, dilapidated. I don't feel comfortable having my staff going there or anybody for that matter, so we still want to push forward with getting it.
It's gotta go.
out of the building.
It's gotta go.
We had several repairs completed within the distribution and collection system throughout the area. I think we did a total of 10 completed, split evenly between water and wastewater. On the City Works front, we've been working with them. I don't think I want to do any more training. I'm just ready to roll it out. I'm very familiar with City Works, and the meetings we're having are really non-productive, so we reached out to them to just, let's pull the trigger, get it started. and
Very good.
We'll work through the kinks as we go along. That'll be starting in the last 2 weeks of October. I don't foresee any major issues, so we should be up and running by Thanksgiving for sure with a normal day-to-day type of routine. And finally, we received 9 new vehicles, and all of them are in service at this time. All 9 vehicles have the new City of Manchester, Tennessee logo, not the one the mayor has, but the one he pre-approved, I guess, that I jumped on too quick when I made them, but they're on there. A lot of the guys love it. We've been getting some
Is that gonna be a new flag symbol too?
So what we're gonna do is we've got two kind of logos approved. One is gonna be for vehicles and stuff, and it just says City of Manchester, and it's written out nice and those things.
Okay.
And then the other logo has the actual, the City Hall, and it says City of Manchester and 1836 on it. So
Oh, okay.
we're gonna use it for cards, letterhead, emails, but the other one will be on all the vehicles. As we're not gonna run out and convert everybody, but as
No.
we get more, we're going to keep changing to the new
Yeah.
logo, yeah.
What about a flag?
We're gonna get flags made that have the logo with the city hall and stuff.
City Hall? Okay,
And we're gonna distribute them out, yeah.
good deal.
The next-
What vehicles did you get, Lonnie?
We purchased 5 pickups, basically all of the metering division has new
Okay.
trucks, they got new trucks. We replaced a repair truck that's kinda outdated. We added a crane truck for the maintenance guys, and they have been using that truck like crazy. I actually was on site at the 10-yard bridge when they used it to pull the pump, so it's in good operating. We got a truck for the director, and didn't have a truck, the assistant director didn't have a truck, and one of the operations, managers didn't have a truck. So altogether, everybody's staffed up. We could still use 2 or 3 more, and the mayor had told me that I can go ahead and look for them. But the goal was to get the fleet out of the way so we can focus on other.
But you do have a crane truck.
Yes, sir, we got a crane truck now, and it's operating under warranty, so and we should have it for a while.
All right.
So 4 of the 9 we ordered in 2024, they just came in. The other 5 we bought here in the last 30 days, and we're looking for 3 more. And the 5 were all used vehicles, which were 2018, 20 model vehicles that had some miles on them, but we're just trying to replace as many as we can for the least amount of money right now.
We bought that crane truck right too, didn't we?
Yeah, the crane truck, I think we had it in
Actually,
the
yeah,
budget.
most of those trucks were low mileage.
Yeah.
They said they're older, but we're talking about like 45, 50,000 miles. So.
All right, good job.
I think that crane truck we had in there new at
250,
200 grand.
and I got it for 30.
Yeah,
for 30.
I knew we bought that one earlier.
So that's pretty much any questions, comments, concerns?
Did I miss a page?
He was just testing.
Y'all pause just a minute. All right, let me ask this. It's time for us to do another tour of the wastewater treatment plant. Let's set a date to do that. They start at 10 o'clock in the morning or something like that, and, we'll try to get as many people there as we can. It's open to the public, anybody that wants to do it. I've been trying to do that at least twice a year, maybe once a quarter, but, what I wanna see is what things have been improved or corrected or repaired since I was over there, and also, what's planned, what still needs to be fixed, and that kind of thing. And one thing that I wanted to ask about, there is underground, pumps over there. That pumps, I believe, pumps water into the clarifiers. And that's underground, but we have to pump water out of that when it rains, because it's not covered. And we also have to heat it in the wintertime to keep it from freezing up. And so
Stairs we went down.
and stairs we
Yeah,
went
yeah.
down, yeah. And, I just wonder, is there a plan to put at least a roof over that to keep the rainwater out?
There was talk, that I had with the previous leadership about having it covered.
Yeah.
I don't know if quotes were ever obtained or anything like that, but it was talked about
Okay.
covering it.
As long as it's on your plate, that's
Yes,
what
sir.
I wanna say.
Yes, sir.
If it's on your plate, we'll
Yeah,
get
a
it.
lot of things we're picking back up and going out for quotes and getting stuff.
It's
sealed
just,
back in. So
that's just too dangerous in my mind. Have water running in there and it's cold and you got a electric heater down there and all this kind of stuff. That's just, it don't sit well with me. All right, budget review.
So, I mean, we sent out the budget. I'm not gonna go through it. I think if you guys have specific questions that we need to talk about, or if you need more detail, you just have to let me know.
We got enough detail, man.
Well, I mean, I just, like I said, you know, there's one line item that Thomas had sent me a note about today, which line, it was
259.
259 on, 52113 maybe, does that sound right? Anyway,
That's
it
correct.
says professional services,
52116.
52116, line 259. There's $850,000 in that line item that's been
No.
spent.
That's not right, but it sticks out like a sore
Here,
thumb.
I've got it marked. Let me get you the right one.
Which account number did you?
Hang on.
52115 is
It's on page 4.
It's-
page 4.
Yeah, 52115, 259.
Yep, there it
And it's
is.
deemed other professional services.
Yeah.
We have it in there at $20,000, but we've spent $850,000. And I just want to clarify, that's where we're putting all the ARP or the grant expenditures, so we can track them out of that one line item, okay? It'll be brought back in from the revenue at the bottom, because we have the ARP money to replace it when it gets put back to us, okay? So you get
So
your
there's
money
nothing
back.
else in that account except ARP money?
That's right. That's
And
where we
grant,
pay
okay.
for basin, sewers, pre-treatment.
Got you.
I mean, I just wanted everybody to understand why that one's so far over, and it's
Yeah,
what we're using to
looks
track
like,
grants.
wow, we really blew it.
Yeah.
But really, it's grant money, okay.
It is, yeah.
The only other thing I've seen,
Okay.
just, and this is an operational thing, but overtime, a quarter of the year in, we're already, we've already spent a third of our overtime budget. So,
We do have a lot of, staff working with Dukes. And
Okay.
Dukes takes a lot of the time up, because like even now, when I was on my way here, the staff is still out working with them.
so your overtime will be front-loaded in the fiscal year then?
Right.
Okay.
That, and we're still, we're filling positions, we're down several spots. So as we start filling those back over time, we'll start to balance out.
All right. Is there any, Lonnie, is there anything in here we need to be voting on in terms of quotes? I know there's quotes in here like Wascon and,
So we're gonna
Do
do,
that further down the line.
yeah, we're gonna do that under new business. I got you.
okay,
several under
okay,
new
that's fine,
business,
yeah. Yeah, I see that now,
Yeah.
okay. All right, well, Mayor, it's, time for your report.
Well, I don't have a whole lot. We were awarded an EDA grant that was applied for in 2023. It's $2 million. We got to pay 20% match, so it's about a $2.4 million grant. That's to work in the industrial basins. We're starting to put that project together with St. John Engineering, but we did get awarded that grant. We've also been awarded an I-24 industrial site utility grant. It's $6 million, and all that is engineering to get water and sewer to I-24, and then water supply, and then water and sewer back to the plant. So the state has give us money to work with them on just the engineering, the early type of engineering things that's being discussed, and there'll be multiple scenarios discussed, is bringing their own line from the site all the way to the plant. And so we won't get into any manholes or any other covers. And then how do we get water to the site, and what's the tank they're gonna need? And so anyway, it's just a lot of engineering studies on what ifs, because nobody knows what's going to be there yet. But
Where's this at?
This is the old mega site. It's the one that's from 53 to 55 out,
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah. But they're calling it the I-24 industrial site.
They just kind of want us to get prepared at least with the water and
Well, they want to have a plan so that if they do land a,
big operation of some kind.
tenant, that at least they can say, okay, you're 18 months or 2 years away from us getting it all done.
Yeah,
But if we don't
I got you.
start the planning of how it's going to go, then you just keep kicking the can. So there's really no work, it's just an engineering study. So,
Okay.
but we did get awarded that. And then, you know, there's been some discussion about the EPA administrative order of consent. I signed it on the 26th of September. That's from an audit. A lot of the things that's in the consent were done by St. John Engineering in 2024. So a lot of the things we just have to implement. So Lonnie and I, we're on pace to meeting our dates within the consent, getting them implemented, getting people trained in that need, our new standard way of doing business.
Besides the training, that's, I
Sir, you
think,
got a comment? I mean, you shaking your head?
it's primarily, reporting requirements, I
It
think,
is,
right?
It is, yep.
Yeah.
It's standardizing how we do business down there.
And
like
how
I
we're
said,
gonna prevent things from happening again.
Well, and if they do happen, what is our course of action?
Yeah.
Those are the things that we haven't, I didn't know these things existed from 2014. Once we got to digging into the consent, that's when we found out that they existed from 2014, and we probably just never got them implemented.
Yeah.
I don't have 100% backward knowledge, but I can tell you going forward that it should be pretty easy to follow.
Let me ask you this too, Mayor, while we're on that subject.
Sure.
You and I have talked about, Little Leaf and that extension for sewer and the fact that we've got a Tennessee grant, I believe,
It's a site grant.
for sewer. I'm a little bit concerned still that the amount of discharge they're gonna have, I think we can get it to Nissan or further, but that amount of flow coming back into the wastewater treatment plant, is that a concern at all, that we increase what they are permitted for? I don't know that they would ever do that much, but they're permitted.
How much are they permitted?
Permitted for 220,000 gallons a day in 5 years. The first initial usage is 120,000 gallons, and they're putting in a 150,000 gallon tank on site to capture the water in case we need.
I didn't
help.
know that.
Yeah,
They are.
They are. They're gonna
Okay.
help.
So
Well,
that'll
when they get
muffle.
the whole site built out, it will be 240, but that's 5 years from now.
Yeah,
All right. So at the plant, right, I mean, it's about a 10 or 11% increase over what the plant does today, which is 2 million gallons.
okay.
You're permitted for 4, so, yes, I mean, it seems to be a big number, but we haven't been bringing anything else online in the last year. And they're still a year away from bringing that online. But the grant is to put a pump station and a force main down Asbury Road and dump in past the Nissan plant.
Nissan, yeah.
That's gonna
Going
go,
through Skinner Flat and Tanglewood and back through there.
yeah, where we've been doing all the other new upgrades on the system along through there. So that gets us down to, I think, one more chronic manhole by the park. And we're working on a program where we slip line that and actually made the line smaller, about repairing and putting the line back to the right size.
Did you say it was gonna be a force main from there?
Yes. So it'll be a pumping station and everything.
This tank that they're putting up, is that part of the grant money paying for that,
No,
or they're paying for it
They're
themselves?
paying for it internally, yeah.
I did not know they were doing
Well,
that.
see, I mean, long-term, what the whole plan is, right, is this isn't bad water, this isn't sewer
Right.
water. This is water that they spray and then they backflush with. We wanna find an alternative route long-term, right, and that's why they put the tank in, so that we can tanker that water to farmers or somebody who needs it. We just haven't got all that part worked out. That's the worst-case scenario, is them dumping that amount of water into the system.
Yeah,
Will that be tested? I mean, for
Yeah,
chemicals?
we have all of their, we call it, where they already do it. I don't know what the,
I don't either. I just
When you have
want to
the-
make sure, I don't know what all
It's-
chemicals they were using in their.
it's
process.
fertilizers, it's those type of things, right?
Right.
And, but we have the, what is that called when you have something that's, anyway, we
It's
know,
treatable.
we know what it is. We have the test results, we have all those things.
Like a treatable.
And that's why, the other concern is, I mean, you know, when they put 40 acres under roof right there, there's no more storm water for that area there, because they're gonna catch all that. And part of the conversation is they're having 25 million gallon reservoir, dikes that they pump out of, because they don't want our water.
Right.
They want rainwater.
yeah.
Can we not put some of that back in there to some degree to dilute it down to where they can reuse it. So lots of conversations. I mean, the overall, within 5 years, if we ever get that far, we'll be able to handle the 240. We could probably today. We've
Probably
got a
could.
couple of spots that we're gonna have to address, now. But over the next 18 months, we're looking at 100 or 120.
Do you know if they could treat, that water and just turn it into groundwater? Is that something that's a potential?
Problem that you have is right next door to them is the wetlands. So you have to be very careful of what you discharge into wetlands and stuff, so.
It would have to be perfectly treated to damn near be well
And
water.
Wetlands anyway, might not place for it to go.
Yeah, that's right.
If it was treated, they could reuse it.
Well, that's what we're talking about, right, is why can't they put it back into their 20 million gallon pond, right? I mean, and it dilute whatever's in it to where, so lots of conversations.
Okay.
But overall, they're gonna be the only one that's hooked up to this line long-term, because it is a site development. The site development doesn't even have the pumps or any of that involved. We're still working with TDEC, about a connection that's separate than us putting this line.
Right, right.
So.
Okay. Well, that does ease my concern a little bit about the fact they've got,
Well,
they've
and
got a
also,
muffle tank.
You probably don't know, but the rest of, there's some more grants that are, or we have 8 grants going in the industrial park right now. One of them is we are gonna put up a water tower inside the plant there. It's about a $3 million tower that the city pays $250 for. That'll help with water storage, water pressures, and some things on the wrong side of town, but it should help overall get our capacity down with the water storage. Then there's a road grant, there's 2 or 3 things that we have going out in there with those guys.
Good deal.
It's about a $5 million deal.
Not about that, but about that same area there. The housing thing's right there to the left of it, you know, when you turn down Asbury Road, where they cleared all that property. Right
Yes,
there.
Josh Moore.
Yeah. Is that up, I mean, is there a plan for housing there or anything yet, or
He just cleared the land. He bought it and just took the trees.
just cleared it? I
Yeah.
see it. There's not a,
No, sir.
nobody's put forth any plans or anything.
No. I mean, for the last 16 or 18 months, we've not approved any new developments in the city of Manchester. Everything's been coming online that predates that time.
And another question, and not to draw everything out, but what, I guess, what's the steps, if you want a sewer tap now, what's the steps? Who do you see, who do you talk to, who approves it, who has the final say?
So, been under a self-moratorium, I guess the mayor's office has final say, right? But we have to do some things in order to do that. I mean, since I've been mayor, I've given out 4 taps in existing neighborhoods because somebody split a lot into a piece, and that's rated at 300 gallons a day.
Right.
And we've worked hard enough that we've taken that much out. So the moratorium is about, you have to remove enough I&I to put something back online so that you don't treat more than you
So
did.
it doesn't have to go through TDEC, you don't have to ask them?
No, not anymore. We were under a TDEC order, and then we went to a self-imposed order, and we self-govern ourselves.
The policy is to net zero, though.
The policy is actually, they want to, if you're going to bring 300 gallons on, they'd like to see you remove, as an example, not about 600 gallons.
Okay.
So, the man's gonna build a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. He goes to the codes with the plan, and then
Yeah.
they come to you, or?
They'll actually go to Lonnie's office, we'll look and see where they are, if there's a chronic manhole involved. The only time we have to honestly approve it through the mayor's office if it has to go through a chronic manhole. If it doesn't go through a chronic manhole, we're not under any order that says we can't do it. It's just upstream of a chronic manhole. And right now, that's what we're working on, is eliminating all of them. Yeah.
All right, Mayor, got anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. New business, Lonnie, the next item on there is a water loss discussion. And, I think is there a page in here?
There's one in there, and it's an estimate You know, at the last meeting, we talked about having somebody walk all of the supply lines, here in the city, and so we got two proposals. I only put the one in there that probably would make sense to consider, to do, about 200 miles of the city of Manchester. It says 166 miles, is $19,200. Then I have another bid from somebody, Rye Engineering, that, I don't know where it came from, but Dana is the one who sent it to me, and they want $120,000 to do the same area.
Well, is this for detecting I&I, or is it for detecting leaks out of the water
This is
supply?
Water supply detection. We're
Okay.
already doing the roof, the
Yeah.
dues on the other side, but this
Okay.
is the supply, you know, where we talk about water loss.
Right.
This is to find out where.
And we don't have a real big problem with water loss anyway, compared to statewide averages.
We used to have a guy that walked it, I mean.
And that's
like
what I
every
think
year.
this 19.2
That
is.
is-
Yeah, that's who this is.
Yeah, he used to, I don't know, every year, every couple of years.
Yeah, and so,
Had done that for many years.
Do we know our water loss percentage?
Yeah, it varies. Last month it was,
Ballpark?
20%.
what was it?
I think
I
it,
think it was 20%.
for last month, for an annual average, I think it's more like 12 or 15, which is pretty doggone good. So, but I don't think it hurts
Did
to
they back,
spend this
you
money.
back Hillsborough's number out of that?
Out of water loss? Yeah,
Yeah, because
because we don't, I mean, all we
Yeah,
do is
it's just
sell
a
it.
pass-through.
we
yeah.
charge
Yeah.
whatever goes through the meter.
Back that number out.
Yeah, yeah. It's just our
I don't know what their
loss.
water loss is.
But I mean, you know, and
It's
some
high.
of it is water main breaks. I mean, that's what fluctuates it up into
Yeah.
the higher numbers, I think.
Yeah,
Really?
I don't know that.
all right.
Lonnie, what number do you want to see there?
0.
What
Right answer.
What realistic number do you want to see
I
there?
mean, we could get it below 10%.
Yeah.
You know, that'd be good. I was actually working with distribution, and I saw, on the way home yesterday, I saw a vac truck hook up to a hydrant, and I called them. I've been seeing this truck do that for months. And it's, you know, they were like, no, we don't have anybody that's scheduled to be pulling, so we're gonna kind of set up a little sting to try to find out who this guy is. But like every day on my way home, he fills up a vac truck all the way to the top. From off, just pulls over on side of the road, turns on the hydrant, and fills up and drives off.
Huh.
And like I said, yesterday, I finally stopped to look, because I kept saying, maybe that's a county truck, and it was just Joe Blow, whoever. And I thought, wow, okay.
Unmetered, it just takes,
Unmetered, just right into his truck. And I know we take flushing into consideration, but that's not gonna be considered all that long. I mean, 1,500 gallon truck every day, 7 days a week, that's quite a bit of water.
When we do the cannon flushing, do you take that into account for the water loss?
Yes.
Any kind of flushing, it takes.
yeah, yeah, they count that. That's not water loss. I went to one of the seminars that had a class on water loss, and there's lots of ways you can lose water.
Right.
I'm telling you, and stealing is one of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Where'd you say you saw that truck?
This was on, what is it, exit 105?
Uh-huh.
As soon as you cross over, 24, there's like a church or something north of Coffee. There's a hydrant right there across from the corner store. And every day, I go that way home, he pulls up right there. And yesterday it caught my attention because I was like, well, it's later in the day, surely, you know, and same guy, same truck. That's what we're talking about, getting some kind of camera, but we just gonna sit out.
Is there a page in here for water loss that we've got month by month in here?
It's not included,
It's
but
not?
I emailed you one. You know,
It-
the one that you had sent me.
Yeah,
and I
let's
just
keep
continued.
updating it month by month and put it in our monthly report. I think, because I do know it fluctuates from month to month a lot. And so to me, an average, a running average is really the best way to monitor that, to see.
I'd like to see it month to month, just so we could understand what are the spikes.
Yeah.
You know, and if we have a low month, what did we do
Yeah.
right there?
Why do
repeat?
we have 5% that's,
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
nice.
How can we repeat it?
Yeah, how do
Hell,
we
it
do
goes
this?
up when it's time to fill the swimming pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So I guess it comes down to, I mean, do you guys want to authorize money to let this gentleman cover the whole system for $19,200? Or you want to ponder it or whatever, but this is the best bid if you want to do this.
We haven't used him before.
Yes.
And, Rye was 10 times that,
Yeah, it was 120 grand.
same technology, same equipment, anybody know?
I didn't dig into them real well. Like I said, this gentleman here, we've done business with before. The other company, we were just looking to try to get 3 quotes
Yeah.
to fulfill that.
And that sounds like they weren't interested in doing the job, they were just giving you a quote.
Kind of would seem that way.
What does he mean by the direct rebate of $120 per mile?
This includes a direct rebate of $120 per mile.
He's charging us $120.
A direct rebate of 120 per mile based on prices to competitors.
I know he used to give a credit.
That's
I
interesting.
remember Brian telling us, he somehow, that if he charged his normal rate, it would be a bunch more than what we actually paying, but I mean, that would, that's right, that'd be zero.
It reads like anything over 160 miles is free.
Yeah,
That's how it reads.
yeah.
Well, but it says additional amounts over 160 will be based on 100, will be
Will be
billed at
at
120. And then he says he's gonna give you a
And then rebate.
per mile, but it doesn't say, maybe that's what he means, he's not gonna charge you anything over that. It's like I could've been
Well,
phrased a little different.
Key is the total cost of 19.2, and I think that's what you
Yeah.
expect to pay.
Right.
Yeah.
If we get anything better than that, fine.
So I guess, yeah.
All right, Mayor, I assume you need a recommendation for that quote?
Lonnie, do you feel like this is money well spent?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good question. Chair will entertain a motion to approve the quote from Joe Richards for testing water loss site.
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
I'll motion in a
I'll
second.
second, I'll second.
Nelson seconds. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye.
I bet he don't weigh much.
I bet.
He's doing all that walking. He makes the car
Or
load. Maybe it's the car load.
Marathon runner.
I'd have a staff.
I've seen him walk around, you see him, got his headphones on.
Headphones on, yeah.
Well, it's nice to know we've used it before and had some
Yeah.
good luck with
We
it.
used him for years.
You know, I thought we had. Okay, Duke's Root Control, new quote and contract, and there's a lot of information in here.
So they give you their whole packet on what they do, what they present back to us. And when you get down to the meat and potatoes, this is really what we're looking at doing. We want to finish televising, do some light cleaning, and they'll put it all together for us. You can see, whoops, I went too far, sorry. You know, they put it all together in a study for us so that we can have it from now going forward, and this will be the rest of the system. This money would come out of the rest of the ARP federal money that we got. We got through $3.2 million. We have spent roughly $1.8 million of it with Dukes, buying our own van and a pump. So we still have the money that we need to spend before next September. So when Lonnie and I, and even the previous leadership, I mean, we wanted to be able to get out of the business of worrying about everybody's previous history, what people knew, what they took with them when they left, and in 2025 say, hey, here's a whole system, here's all the televising, you know exactly what's going on in your system, and this would just finish that up. The first one was 300,000 feet. I think this one is right under 300,000 feet, but it's the remainder of the system. So it's 269,000 feet.
Total.
Yeah, is what we're gonna finish up.
Now, this doesn't include them, cleaning out roots where they find or stuff like that.
They'll do light cleaning of dirt and mud and things that's in the pipe, but what they do is they give us reporting that they don't wait till the end. So when they're working in a certain basin and they see a big hole, they report that to us, and generally, we go out and fix that internally.
Pretty quickly.
Pretty quickly, and that's what part of what has been presented in the past. You know, we did so many feet of repairs and stuff, and that's where we're getting this data. So we're trying to catch all them spider lines and the smaller lines that we can work on and build projects for the bigger line, as we continue through the system.
Okay.
That last block is 30,000 feet less. Is that number right? I mean, it's not gonna change the quote much, it'll change $8,000 or something like that. But at that 269, 464 on the televising footage, and 239, 464 on
There we go.
the assessment report.
And I think you have to add some of the televising and light cleaning too, to get to the whole number. I don't know why they have it broke out separate like that, like you're saying, but that's the remaining difference. Post, I guess, is after they come back. Yeah.
$8,000, it's not like it's really killing anything there, but.
Well, and the good news is Dukes have been good to us, and the original quote and stuff that they gave us for the first 300,000 feet, they were actually able to do better because they didn't do as much cleaning in the lines as they had to. So we had some money left over, and that's why the number shrunk to a smaller number, because we had actually split the system in half.
Yeah.
And so we got a little more footage out of them, because they didn't have to do some cleaning.
And this total is 1.1 million?
Yes, sir.
Is everybody okay with that being money well spent? I think we have to do it, really, but I'm just asking a question. Is there there's not an alternative that I know of.
Well, and like I said, my opinion is that you can put a stamp on the whole system in 2025 and say, I've been through it all, right? I can show you footage of any line you want to see, any basin. I know where all the manholes are now. And we don't have to have everybody's knowledge that's worked here for 15 years. That's, you know, which helps the next guys who aren't here. All they have to do is they can go back and pull the footage up, and they can look at it.
This is gonna do that.
Yeah, this is the other half of the system. We've already done part of the system now. And that's what we're working on to do repairs internally.
All right, to go back to the ARP money,
Yeah.
it says 3 million what?
There was 3.2 of federal
Okay.
ARP money.
Was that for the host city, or is that just, is the city spending that for the water department, or was that just for the water? and
Yeah,
sewer?
ARP money was just for the city. We ended up with about $5.5 million.
But Beaumont's allocated,
All of it to water and sewer.
All of it to water and sewer, yeah.
We're finishing up 2 projects now that was the TDEC side of the money. One was over on Skinner Flat, and then we went on down to, behind, Carter Sain's house and where the other project's going. That's all ARPA money as well. But yeah, the city spent the whole money, in the last 12 to so months in just water and sewer.
Then this'll get just about all of it.
Yeah, this should finish it all up. And then, like I said, we have about 8 to 12 new grants that we're working on that we've got funding for, that we're building projects for, that we're building them off of this data that they're giving us for the bigger lines.
Once this is completed, we know then where our biggest problems are, how to fix that, how to get to the chronic manhole problem, and see what's causing that, what we need to do, maybe dig up pipe, maybe clean it, maybe put bigger pipe in, I don't know.
And I think some of what's gonna happen too, right, is on Lonnie's report, right? We're back into actually doing planned maintenance in our pump stations. We're pulling these pumps, we're getting instead of just flushing the stuff through our system and into the system, we're cleaning them at the bottom now, which the crane truck was the big holdup because the guys had no way to
No way to
do their
lift it.
work. So we're starting to realize some of it is self-inflicted, that we've been putting some of the stuff into the system ourselves versus when we got it caught, getting it out. And so they're working on a lot of that right now too.
Well, that's good.
But this definitely will give you the ability for, no matter how long you've been here, to know what's going on inside the system.
All right, Chair will entertain a motion to approve Duke's 360 quote of $1.1 million.
I'll make the motion that we approve the Duke
Duke
360 quote of 1.1 million. And
Have a motion, a second?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Have a second? Any other discussion? Very detailed presentation. I appreciate getting that much information to see.
Those guys are good.
Yeah.
We had another company that did the interceptor lines.
Yeah.
And Citriform, I think was the name of those guys.
Yeah.
And we had a hard time getting the data to where we could read it.
We never did get the final report on it.
We did, and we're still having to spend a little money to get it converted, but we finally got that done. But this group here, like I said, they give you weekly reports, they give you what they've done so far, and they work with you when we can't find manholes to give us time to uncover them so they can inspect them. So, they've been good to work with. Now, you know, if your house has got, smoke in it and different things, you're not as
Oh,
happy
the fire
about it.
department got called out a lot.
The fire department's been to a lot of different businesses as that's happened, but that just means there's something wrong
On their side,
side,
yes,
exactly.
absolutely. I was out walking when they were doing smoke testing, and I seen smoke come out of a neighbor's house. And I kinda knew what they were doing. I walked down there and I said, that place looks like it's on fire. He said, no, it's not on fire. He said, they just got an issue with, plumbing on the inside. And I said, yeah, I know. But, they did mine. I didn't get any problems.
Around the square, it's bad because we still have a lot of
Oh, gosh, yeah,
rain piped in.
yeah.
Probably old.
Yeah, so.
All right.
How
Any
how
other-
many, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
How many manholes do we think we're gonna discover?
Well, I think in the last go-around, it was 70 or something that was either covered or we didn't have on the thing, so.
We were just saying that they found a bunch paved over.
Yeah,
It was
right
around.
now, we got the data dump yesterday from Dukes, and it ties right into our GIS. So the plan is to go and cover all of those that we're finding now, and it may eliminate some of this chronic, so we have it because they're covered.
Yeah.
For, and who knows what's in there,
Right,
it hasn't
right.
been cleaned yet. So, I mean, and a lot of the guys, staff knows where they are as well, they just, we don't have the manpower, and didn't really have the time to just say, stop doing this and let's uncover, but now, we're putting a priority on uncovering them.
All right, any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, next item is organizational chart. I appreciate getting this. Lonnie, if you did this, it's great. I would like to get one that's legible.
Yeah, a little bit larger, I know it's.
Okay, I had to get my magnifying glass. I do have a couple of questions on it, and that is, what does LEO and HEO stand for?
Light equipment operator, heavy.
Light equipment and heavy equipment, okay. I thought, but I wasn't sure. All right. Any other discussion on organizational chart? I know you got a couple of holes there that's gotta be filled. Looking for people. Job descriptions. We'll talk about that a little bit.
The reason I came up with the job description, I went to the mayor asking for help for staff. We are very short-staffed. I mean, there are a lot of tasks that we could be doing within the department that are either being overlooked right now or they're being under-tasked. If we should be checking something 5 days a week, we can only do it 1 day a week or twice. So I looked at kind of what we had currently, and for example, the wastewater operator, that current description as it is now is not even valid with the state of Tennessee. I mean, it says, under, you have less than a high school education. You have to have a high school diploma to be licensed in Tennessee.
Right.
So that contradicts itself right there, which is why you get people to come in here that this everyday Joe blows. I worked at Discount Tire yesterday, now I wanna be a wastewater operator, and they have no idea what they're doing. We spend more time wasting more time trying to get them.
Well, they do have to be certified, right?
They're supposed, yes, sir, you gotta be certified, so in order to get, that's what I'm saying, the job description contradicts itself when it says, basically, you can have less than a high school education and come here. That means
Let's
less than
see,
a diploma, less than a GED, and still become
The
operator.
current job description doesn't require certification?
Not as it's written.
No, I mean, we actually have a gentleman down there now that's running the plant that's working on his certification. He's not certified. I mean, but we have a licensed operator in Emily and Dana that we use their license and they work underneath them.
Yeah,
But yeah, we have got to get to a spot to where everybody who works in that office is certified. I mean,
I agree.
it helps
I
us
agree.
long term. You know, we're even having some conversations with, different people who have been there in the past, who have ran the plant, about doing a little consulting with us, right?
Right.
You know, for whatever reasons, information transfer is not as we would like it. We should be able to pretty much have running knowledge of how things works, and we should be able to hand somebody something and they go to work and we monitor those things. We're just a little deficient there, but we'll get better. But Lonnie, and
Bench training, so to speak.
we don't have it, right? I mean, you know, and I mean, and in a lot of departments throughout the whole city, right? You're losing a lot of senior people for whatever reasons, retirement, different
Retirement,
things. And they take everything about the job with them. And we've got to just have it to where we can get anybody to do the job that has a license and is certified, and we have to make that commitment
well,
to hiring them.
you almost have to get to a thing where you have an operator's handbook that says, here's what you do when it rains 2 inches overnight. Here's what's gonna happen, and here's how you may have to take care of that.
That's where we're going.
You know?
That's what I'm accustomed to. I was actually explaining that to everybody.
Yeah.
I've had it to where the operator can be as green and new as yesterday.
Yeah.
But I have history in operating. I can pick up a book
And tell them
and
what to
say,
do.
hey, the
and
air
show
needs to
'em
be at this level, you know, when it
Yeah.
rains, you can bump
do
this
this
blower
or do
down.
that, because we do have to take extraordinary measures at times.
That's part of the information that we have, like I said, there's about 5 or 6 different, reports that deal with how to do this from like I was telling you in 2004. Then we're just gonna put them in place. If we have to tweak them, we will, but.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're looking at adding a couple people, in that area. Lonnie's got some good ideas about how we break a couple of these things out that makes more sense versus one person to have responsibility of the big pie. You break the pie up a little and
Yeah,
so we're gonna work on some of that, but the main focus now is to get him some resources as far as people go, and let's see what we can do.
is there let me ask you, is this gonna have to be, these job descriptions to be approved by the Board of Mayor and Alderman?
Some of them,
Okay.
not all of them, some of them are in here for your reference, and some of them we've had to tweak, but yes, in November, we're
Okay.
gonna pass whatever ones we've changed.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so you do need a recommendation then on these
We would like one.
from this committee, this commission rather. Okay. I looked through them, I thought they were very reasonable, I thought it was sound. You know, I think some of this stuff leaves room for interpretation about abilities and things like that, but certainly hard things like, oh, you gotta have a high school degree, or you gotta have a certification from the state of Tennessee that's all easy enough to say yes or no on. If somebody got strong problem-solving skills, that's a judgment call, okay?
It's a feeling that.
But it's always nice to have that in there.
Right, and a lot of it is just driven from, you know, getting the right staff in here. We could go hire 10 people tomorrow that used to work on the, you know, railroad, that have nothing to do with water.
Right.
And they don't know, but if you kind of define the position a little bit.
Yeah.
And let people know this is what I'm expecting you to do, it kind of helps with selection, along with career progression. There, you know, there's none here.
Yeah.
You know, that LEO title and HEO, those are so outdated. I haven't heard those since like 2005. Nobody really even uses that because what is considered heavy equipment versus light.
Exactly,
A
exactly.
backhoe in some cities is heavy, where a backhoe in other cities is light.
Is light.
And I mean, so that just redefining the positions, like I say, giving the guy something to strive to. Knowing I can come in fresh out of the local high school here and have a high school diploma, but I have no certification, no knowledge, don't even know what a shovel is, but I can work my way from a trainee up to the next level if I get a CDL license, or if
Yeah.
I get a certification through the state of Tennessee, the next level, it gives them something to aspire to, and kind of helps us retain staff, because we're competing with everybody every day. Every utility is willing to pay a quarter more. You know, oh, you got a license, come over here for $1, and
Yeah.
oh, you got a CDL, Duck River Electric wants you, and, I mean, so we were fighting all these utilities, and we have no way to retain people, you know. We don't have the best equipment yet, we don't have the best trucks yet, we're building to it, but what stops me from jumping ship now? Nothing. So it's kind of like, well, let's put something in place to, hey, guys, we want you here, we want to hire you, we want to work with you, we'll train you, get you certified, and in return, I expect to have some of the best results, you know, within this region when it comes to different cities. We smoking, we kicking butt.
Right, right. Well, I think it's good that you put a lot of stuff
Kick
in.
that too.
Work on call rotation, work in all kinds of weather. I mean,
Right.
some people may not think about that.
Right.
So that's right there when they're handed this job description when
And
they get on.
that's the transparency, right? 'Cause
Yes,
I've
yes.
heard that for years. Well, you know, that's not my job.
Nobody told me that.
And I said, well, you know, there's always that line that's in every job description, I don't care how generic, as, you know, any other duties as assigned.
Ad hoc.
You know, but the on-call, people don't realize how real that is until they start working here.
Right.
Oh, y'all, you know, yeah, we only have 2 crews, so the rotation is not gonna be once every 10 weeks, it's gonna be once every 2 weeks.
Right.
You know, or we don't have this, so we have to make do with what we have. But if we, you know, are transparent with them and let them know this is where we wanna go. That was the purpose of this. This is what I'm looking for. This is what the department needs right now. I could go hire everybody, like you said, I'm a heavy equipment operator. That's not a part of the application process. That's not a part of the job interview. I don't take you to the dirt yard and can you really operate? No, we just take your word and you get over there and you snatch out a gas line and shut the whole city down. So, you know, just being able to put something on paper and
got
hold
you.
them accountable, these are what you said were your skills,
That
and
is
your
the key.
qualities, and so I'm taking you at your word. I'm gonna give you an opportunity, and then, you know, you
See how
sink
it
or
works.
swim.
All right. All right, Chair will entertain a motion to approve these job descriptions that are in our packet as they're written, unless you have some heartburn with some part of it.
Motion.
I'll second the motion.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All right, that carries. The last thing on here is commission meeting date and time change. We are currently scheduled to meet the first Thursday after the first board meeting at 3 o'clock. And I know Thomas has had an issue with trying to meet at 3 o'clock.
Unfortunately, I have to be employed. So, anything before 4, I have a hard time getting here.
So 4 or later would work.
4 or later
All
will
right.
work for me. But, this doesn't need to revolve around me. I can do what I need to do.
Yeah, okay.
I just may be asking one of you guys for a job.
Well, I'm gonna voice my opinion about the 3 o'clock. It's my recollection, and I've been chairman for a long time and on the commission for longer than that. And we started meeting at 3 o'clock, which ain't a good time. But we started doing that, I think, to avoid having to pay water and sewer department people overtime. So they were meeting down at the warehouse, and it generally was pretty quick meetings, and we would be out of there certainly by quitting time for them. But I think the general sentiment is, it's better if we have a meeting at a later time, and I certainly agree. Getting here at 3 o'clock with our traffic getting to be similar to Murfreesboro, getting through town at 2:30 is not easy with school letting out and things like that. So I'm in favor of moving up the time. I like the idea of Thursdays after the Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting on Tuesday. But as Sarah pointed out, that's a county commission meeting,
What's that got to do with it?
but that don't have anything, that don't stop us.
The
easy,
second
bro.
Thursday's not, it's the second
Thursday's not,
Tuesdays.
Thursday's not county.
No.
It's not?
Thursday's not
No,
county, it's
Tuesday,
Tuesday.
Tuesday, right there. Tuesday, yeah.
Oh, Tuesday, oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So if we keep it on
Keep it on
Thursday
Thursday at
6 o'clock.
6,
yeah.
is that okay? I mean,
But it needs to say the first Thursday after the first Tuesday,
Yeah.
not the first Thursday.
yeah, I have to agree with that, because we want to meet after
After the bone
board meeting.
Yeah.
So you wanna do the second Thursday at 5:30?
No,
No.
at 6.
Six. No, the first
First
Thursday
Thursday.
after the first Tuesday. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily always gonna be the first or second.
Thursday following.
That's a new item. You don't have that up there.
Thursday
First Thursday
following.
of each month at 6, the second one down?
The second one down, but it should say the first Thursday after the
Board
first
of Mayor and
Tuesday.
Alderman meeting.
Or after
first
BOMA
Tuesday.
meets,
It'll be-
however you wanna say it.
It'll be the Thursday following the monthly BOMA meeting.
Right.
I think that's what's in the code now, requiring it to be at the first Thursday after the first meeting is in the
It's the
code.
same thing as that, except 6 PM.
We're going to Thursday, not Tuesday.
And we're going to Thursday, not Tuesday.
At 6 o'clock
It's
works for everybody?
We need a motion.
Yeah, I do know that, let me point out this too, the codes, mentions, or requires Thursday after the first Tuesday, board meeting. However, it says you can set it at any time you want. So we can do this, or we can do something else later, but we need
Well,
to,
that's already,
it's already
that's-
set for
well,
Thursday.
that's already in the code then.
Yeah.
It's just the time.
So we don't really need to do anything other than say be here at 6
Six,
instead of 3.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So first Thursday after
First Tuesday.
the first Tuesday. Anybody
Unless
got?
it's leap year.
Unless-
And then it's,
I know,
Depending on the Chinese calendar.
yes, has anybody got any?
Changing it to 6 versus 3.
Yeah, we're just changing it to 6
Yeah.
versus 3.
Okay.
yeah.
It's the same thing you got up there,
There it's at 6 o'clock.
except at 6.
Perfect.
And I think that'll work for most everybody. We may have to pay a little overtime. But, are you salary or hourly? Your salary?
Hour.
You're hourly. Well, you'll make a little extra money then.
Lonnie can probably figure out how to get you off early on Friday.
That'd be comp time.
All right, any comments from commissioners before we leave?
No, sir.
Thomas,
No, sir.
Terrence? Nelson? I do have one. I want to thank Jeff Perry for his service. He was here for about a year. I think he implemented some good things. I think there's, a pat on the back. I looked back through the minutes and they were all complimentary toward him. So I think, I want to say that. I think he's done a reasonably good job. I know there was difficulties at times, but that's okay. That's human nature. Mayor, we had talked about, you want to mention the J.E. Sartain Road status? I know you've got a proposal from the county.
Well, the county's gonna vote tonight, what they wanna do at, J. Sartain Road is they wanna pass, I think it's $30,000 or $35,000, to do a 4-inch line, which if you remember correctly, we asked for a 6-inch line because of fire hydrants and stuff. And so I told them to pass whatever it is they wanna pass. We'll look at it when they get it passed, but the city's not gonna buy extra material to do the project for county residents. I mean, we're already giving our labor, and I think that's the best we can offer, so. But,
That's what we've always done in the past with them.
so, I mean, there's
I
no
don't
sense
know.
in changing that. to-
What's the difference in the cost between 4 and 6? You know, Lonnie?
I think it was 15 grand or so. It wasn't, I mean, it wasn't a huge increase, but, Jeff was pretty adamant that 6-inch for fire hydrants and stuff would be the right call.
And the engineering study said that, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I just think, yeah, we want them to have water and we want to help, but we can't do it for the county. The county's gonna have to step up and do their part.
Yeah.
And buying the material is not that big of a ask.
Yeah. Lonnie, what date would be good to do a tour for the wastewater treatment plant?
Whenever you're ready,
How about,
not this week.
oh, not this one?
Whenever you're ready after this week.
Yeah, okay. How about the 21st? Tuesday.
And what time would you like?
That's about 10 o'clock.
We can make it.
All right. If you can make it, let's go take a tour. Make that, anybody with public wants to come, that's welcome too. I don't think that would take more than an hour. In fact, I think it'd take 30 minutes, what we did last time or so. Depends on what questions
I
come
think we
up.
were there an hour.
Hour, okay,
Yeah,
maybe
we
an hour.
were.
But,
All over.
I think it's time for us to look, just have a look-see. You know, I know you've made some improvements and there's some still to be done, so let's try to do that at 10.
And then next, at the next meeting, you know, be prepared to have some conversations around us, putting together a plan to borrow some money from water and sewer. We have some debt paying off that I'd like to re-borrow money on, and not change the payment of what we've been paying out as far as, and keep the infrastructure part of it going.
Okay.
Our financial guy out of out of Knoxville has sent me some stuff that, we probably should be looking to borrow somewhere around $20 million.
What's the interest rates going at now?
I have to look back at it, it's on a bond, it's coming down a little right now. But I can't remember, I think we have some debt that pays off either in 16 months or something like that. And by the time we get it all going, the debt would have been paid down. We'll borrow new debt and it'll be flat. But it'll let us keep working within the infrastructure, because right now Lonnie and his team were coming up with, you know, a plan of how we're gonna spend it. It may not be, hey, we're gonna buy this motor and this, but we're gonna spend, as examples, we may put $8 million at the wastewater facility, $12 million out in the field, and then $5 million in water supply. We haven't worked all that out, but we know we need to keep up with what we're doing, and that's one way to do it.
Sure.
So, and we did hire a part-time grant writer in the city. He starts on the 20th. And part of his task will be to find us more free money. We rewrote our letter to the state about the ARP money that cities and counties have turned back in, that we've asked for $2.9 million. We don't know yet, but we'll see.
Why would somebody turn it back in?
You know, believe it or not, there's some cities in Tennessee that don't have any problems with
Right.
anybody else, and they have the best infrastructure, and they got about 200 people in their town, and they didn't want the money.
Randall's trying to get some of that money too, right? You
Well,
know?
I'm sure, I mean,
You know,
everybody.
why not?
Everybody.
It goes against my nature.
Yeah.
Free money, just give it back.
And then one other thing worth mentioning too is Lonnie's had Randall out, him and Jamie, and they've had some internal meetings about our water and our supply, and I think there's some really good ideas gonna come out of that. We've never done that with them guys before, but Lonnie set that up, and I think it's gonna actually turn out really good with some recommendations and things that he has for us.
Lonnie, I apologize, I didn't make that meeting, I meant to, but I had other issues that come up, and, I wanted to be there because Nelson and I are on both this one and that one.
I mean, anytime
And
we-
communication's always good with those guys.
Because he's involved in the I-24 conversation about water with the state, and part of that engineering is, do we bypass all our stuff and go straight there? So there's a lot of things that we need to keep working with our partners on to do better.
All right, well,
We'll talk about the wash quote.
Oh, the Wascon quote was in there, but I thought it was incomplete. Anyway, there's a quote in your thing, and has to do with that pumping station, right? And I think we need to bring it back, because wasn't some of it we were gonna try to do in-house that we're still getting quotes on now?
We were gonna try that, and, Jeff originally said we could use in-house people,
Yeah.
and we're probably gonna have to, because Wascon doesn't have contractors like that, they just provide the skid that we need, so we'll have to just bring it back in-house.
Okay.
So this is,
This
the-
is a-
this is the one you guys passed us up to $250,000 to build that building and put the pumps inside and everything.
At the old wastewater,
The old
I mean,
wastewater.
supply water.
Yeah, supply water. And
Yeah.
Part of the conversation now is some of the work that we had thought we could do internally, we're getting some quotes, because either we don't have the time or the ability to do it.
Okay.
It would probably be money ahead and faster just to get the whole thing quoted, turnkey job and walk away. That's what,
I thought that's where we were headed anyway,
well,
but
if you
initially.
remember, we started at 130, and I said, hey, is that the right number? We went to 250.
Yep.
And I said, hey, is that still the right number? And we just wanna make sure, so we don't have to come back, but we'll get all that together and we'll get it for them at the next one. We'll do that at Bowman in December, okay?
All right. Anything else? Well, thank everyone for their contributions. We stand adjourned.
We didn't vote on it.
You don't have to vote on adjournment.